Hey everybody, we're back. Episode 2613 of the Cabral Concept. This is our Cabral HouseCalls, the weekend edition of the show, answering your questions that have come in over the past 2 to 3 months. Typically, we're around 10 to 12 weeks now, getting back to you on your questions that you write in. But as I always say, just remember that you can get same-day answers to your questions. We'll even help you find any podcast that you need by writing in to cabralsupportgroup.com. All right, so as you know, every weekend we answer about a dozen questions from the community. And, well, today is no different. So if you want to follow along with the questions, head on over to stephencabral.com/2613. While you're there, please do pick up a free copy of The Rain Barrel Effect if you have not already done so. If you have, well, get another one and give it to a friend. I pay for the printing of the book now. So it's a little over $7 to print this book. You just pay for the shipping, which is about the same price, and that's it. You get the book. You just, again, my goal is this. I donate 100%, and I always have since I published the book, 100% of all profits go to charity from any book sales that I receive, whether it's on Amazon, so you can pay full price on Amazon, that's totally fine. Amazon takes their cut, I get whatever my cut is, and that gets donated to charity. And so again, however you want to do it, my goal is to get the word out about what actually works in order to heal your body. And we know it works now. We really do. I'm not the only one. I always want to share that with you. I don't hold all of the answers to myself. My colleagues, we get together. One interesting thing is just about 2 weeks ago, I'll be talking more about this, got together out in LA. And, you know, we have big conferences together. They're put on by some amazing people that have been in this industry for another 20 years more than I even have. And they're bringing together people, myself, my colleagues that have ideas of how we're trying to change the world for the better in terms of health. Again, like I do one thing. That's it. I don't want to pretend like I'm a jack of all trades. I do one thing. And I try my best to help people get well and live a longer, happier, and healthier life. It's not just about health of the body, it's health of the mind as well. So, all right, I could talk all day about that, but today we're going to get into your questions. And the first question that has come in is from Allison. Allison saying, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. I'm so thankful for you and your team. You guys have changed the trajectory of me and my family's life forever, and I'm so grateful." Thank you, Allison. That's amazing to hear. My question is about a friend. Do some people have smaller rain barrels than others? My friend have a set of identical twins. One twin was diagnosed with Crohn's disease at 7 years old. The family went on the specific carb diet and changed their lifestyle, but the other twin ended up with a Crohn's diagnosis at 13. You often talk about how you got sick at 17 and how that is young. I feel like 7 is so young. They were born by C-section, and had a handful of rounds of antibiotics, but not a crazy amount. So I'm just wondering how someone's rain barrel fills up at such a young age. Thank you for your thoughts and for everything. Okay. Yeah, I was rushing through that question because I really want to get to this, and I know what you're talking about. So there's two things. Some people do have a smaller rain barrel, and the reason is that they're smaller, right? So when you're younger, your rain barrel fills up faster because your liver, kidneys, even like your spleen, they don't work as well until you're a larger adult. They're just not able to. They don't have the same capacity. But children are still affected by heavy metals and hydrogenated refined seed oils and glyphosate and I said heavy metals, but phthalates and parasites and mold, right? They don't have the same capacity. They don't have the same level of reserves. So that's a big thing. And then the other part is just this, is that people with MTHFR and COMT issues, mast cell activation syndrome, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, well, their rain barrel just fills up a whole lot faster. So when it rains for them, it pours, right? They don't do as well. Someone like myself, if I compare myself, which I never do, but like just for, this and that, I have a client and he's about the same height as me, weighs just a little bit more than me. And he can go a night without sleeping. He can go, he never gets sick. He can have a couple drinks every night. And it doesn't mean that he's going to live longer, but it means that his rain barrel just empties faster. No MTHFR issues, no COMT issues. And so there is that. Now, the other part is this. When you're born C-section, we know that you don't have the same level typically of gut microbiota. We don't know the mitochondrial health of these children. Even if it's just a handful of rounds of antibiotics, you can be harmed by the very first round of antibiotics. So, but the thing is this, honestly, at the end of the day, there is no sense worrying about what size rain barrel you were given. What we need to do is deal with what is. And I'm sure that I've listened to the podcast for a while. I'm a very brass tacks kind of individual. My goal is to help you get well as fast and as safely as possible. That's it. So I say, listen, how do we get sick? Okay, understood. Got it. I understand the health history. Let's run now the Big Five as well as the bacteria and parasite stool test for this individual with Crohn's, right, at 13 years old. Like, that's what we're doing. So that's how we work. And we look at all the underlying root causes and we go from there. Now, if you only wanted to run one, run the bacteria and parasite stool test. That's what we run. I have a feeling, though, and I would also run that minerals and metals test, which, by the way, is free right now for Iabone members. So you can just go to, just go to stephencabral.com /Iabone. So here's the thing, though. Everything can be fixed. Like, please let them know everything can be fixed. Give them a copy of the Rain Barrel Effect, have them read it, and they'll be able to work through this. They will. I mean, they honestly will. So, okay. Anonymous is up next. Sorry, I've been talking all day. I'm going to make sure that I correctly pronounce everything here. I'm going to read a little slower for you. I'm in my mid-40s, and I've worked with your practitioners on reducing inflammation and candida. I'm currently at a healthy weight and exercise regularly. I've had 5 children and have been left with mild diastasis recti and excess skin on my stomach. I've worked with a specialist to heal my core, and it did help, but I didn't heal the diastasis recti completely. I've consulted with a plastic surgeon who has recommended a diastasis repair with a tummy tuck. I know you can't give medical advice, but can you give me your thoughts on the surgery and any long-term effects this may cause? Okay, yeah, happy to help. So for people who don't know what diastasis recti is, you can just do a quick Google search and you can actually see how the rectus abdominis, how the abdominal muscles actually separate, and that's fairly normal actually with pregnancy, potentially even especially with 5 children. And sometimes the abdominal wall, at least the exterior abdominal wall, because your abdominal wall isn't just your rectus abdominis, it's your transverse abdominis, obliques, etc. But it doesn't go back completely. And even with planks and boat poses, V poses, and core strengthening and band chops and all these things, sometimes, honestly, it does not go back all the way. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't be a healthy individual without that, but it does allow for a little bit of the stomach to not just be able to stay as flat. And so I agree with that. That is true, and it does sometimes happen. But again, you should always work naturally, and it says you've been doing that, which is great. And then, excess skin is sometimes that does often happen as well, especially with multiple pregnancies. So the thing is this, I can't tell you what to do, right? Like, the healthiest thing to do would be not have surgery, right? Like, that's the healthier thing to do, not have surgery. However, if the diastasis recti is actually affecting you from a functional physiological perspective, you can't do the things that you want to do, that's a different story. The excess skin is, the excess skin, right? That's not harming you in any way. But I understand I understand. Like, I get it. I'm human as well. So I totally understand. So if you do this, you always have to worry about the skin removal, right? So that's part of it, because we have to keep that in mind. And then we have to worry about the antibiotic use, because no doubt you're being put on antibiotics. Then there's the surgery healing, making sure that there's no staph infections, keeping everything clean. And then it's repairing the gut, the intestines after all the antibiotics. So again, you do what you feel is best for you. I never judge. It's my job to then help heal. So, if you're doing that whole thing, well, okay, then we might do the CBO protocol and the CBO finisher after all the antibiotics and everything, which is not necessarily a bad thing because you're going to be healing for the next 12 to 16 weeks after that surgery. All right? So hopefully that was helpful. Again, here to help however we can. That's the truth. Joyce is up next. I really love these podcasts. Thank you. Can you give me information on natural flavors? I've heard it's only MSG in disguise. It contains multiple biohazards and chemical compounds. It's slipped under the radar and even allowed in a lot of health foods that are advertised as safe. Can you give me the science and finally a straight answer on this? I can only find research from the FDA and definitely don't trust them. Is it really hidden MSG? I won't eat anything with natural flavors or other flavors until I get the truth. Thanks. Okay, yeah, happy to help. The problem is that it's never one thing, right? So let me share with you. There are dangerous natural flavors. There really are. There are natural flavors made from mold, made from GMO corn. How do you know? Like, that's the issue. But natural flavors in and of themselves are not necessarily dangerous. They're not. And they're not MSG in disguise. Are some monosodium glutamate derivatives? Yes, they are. And I have a whole podcast on different names for glutamate and glutamic acid and monosodium glutamate, even things like natural yeast or yeast extract. So why don't we do this? Well, you know what? Let me grab you some of these. I'm doing at stevencabral.com/natural-flavors. I'm doing a whole video on it. And I don't know if that's up yet, but it will be up. But then let's go to stevencabral.com/podcast. All right. And I didn't even type in my own website correctly. /podcast. There we go. All right. So now we're going to type in glutamate, because I want you to check out this show as well. Because glutamate is a real thing. That is dangerous for many people, especially those who do not process glutamate very well. All right, so I've got one, it's called 2538. I have another one, 2528. All right, let's find one just on the dangers of yeast and why it may not be a superfood. That's 2027. And then check out episode 2020 as well, how gluten and glutamate cause learning disorders, autoimmune, anxiety, and neurological disorders. And then check out episode 1663, how hidden food additives affect your health. All right, those are the shows. You can just rewind and kind of play those back, or type in glutamate at stevencabral.com/podcast. That'll give you everything you need to know about MSG and different words for MSG. Now, we use natural flavors, and the reason is that you use them as masking agents to be able to make a food palatable, like a daily nutritional support or anything with vitamins in it, right? Like, so that you're getting the flavor that you want to get all the nutrients in. Now, do we use any genetically modified organisms in our practice? No. Would we ever use any GMO things? No. Do we third-party test? Yes. Do we use an FDA facility? Yes. Are all our products NSF certified? Yes. So it's like, so the thing is though, I can't tell you what other people use. What do we use? Apple extract. So like literally natural apple extract. So think about it this way. When you use an essential oil, if you put it in food, it would be a natural flavor. Legitimately, it's an extract. So we have to be careful kind of what we're calling natural flavors. We really do. If you use a ginger oil, that's a natural flavor. And we do things by the letter of the law because we use FDA facilities. So it just means that we use the highest level manufacturers. Obviously we're not making pharmaceuticals, but we're governed. Like what we do is governed. If anything comes in with heavy metals, it's gone. We can't use it. If anything comes in contaminated with mold or something, we can't use it. So in our chocolate, or in our DNS, we use a vanilla extract, non-GMO, of course. Everything we do is non-GMO. And then in our daily fruit and vegetable blend, we use an apple extract. And so it's like, there's no mystery, but then you have people like, and again, I love Anthony William. He's fantastic. I really do. But he's telling everybody for his own benefit, because you need to create an enemy, right? You need to create an enemy to become popular. That's basically like, that's just a shtick that people do. And he just tells everybody that it's just MSG in disguise. Well, it's not, right? That's the thing. So you can't make up things. I think he's fantastic, but you can't make up things. And then people just copy what he says. And then it just becomes like the thing on the internet. So anyway, yeah, we get these questions all the time. And I get it. I understand, because he is a bigger and louder voice than, to be honest, most people. He's got millions of followers. And so whatever he says automatically becomes the truth. But it's not the truth. Now, the thing is, though, he's not wrong in some instances. But he's wrong then in the other instances. But he doesn't tell you when that isn't true, right? I try to tell you both sides of the story. All right. Thank you, Joyce. Great question. Tracy's up next. Thoroughly enjoying your podcast episodes. Do you have recommendations on what to eat to break a fast? Thank you, by the way, already left a review as requested. I appreciate that, Tracy. Thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely. I've got a show on how to break a fast, and I've got a show on how not to retox after a detox. So what I'd love you to do is, well, let me put it this way, because I'll give you the short answer. And then please, though, go to stevencabral.com/podcast, because I've got so many 20-minute shows. Like I'm going to give you a 2-3 minute answer like I do for everybody, but I want you to get a 20-minute show answered for you, right? So best way to break a long fast. Now, So let's say someone's doing our one-day reset diet. So please check out that show too, One-Day Reset Diet. You can just type it in at stephencabral.com/podcast. And if it's only one day, you can eat whatever you want because it's not like your digestion shut off. If it's like 3 days, okay. We talk about that on our quarterly detox, or Equal Life Detox. We're going to actually break that with an easier to digest meal, like 3-4 ingredients maximum. If you ever do a longer water fast, then we're going to break it even easier with just a little bit of fruit. Fruit is about 90% water, or you're going to break it with some broth. Just very easy to digest. So the longer your fast, the easier you have to break, like the gentler you have to be breaking the fast. So 3 days or more, 2.5 to 3 days or more, gentle food, simple ingredients, just like we do for the first meal of the detox, the Equal Life Detox, or break it with a little bit of fruit, not a bowl of different fruit, a handful of fruit, wake up the digestion. That's a nice way to do it. You can also have a glass of water with a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to restart that digestive system. You can even add a little bit of raw honey if you'd like as well to make it a little bit sweeter and more palatable. That natural flavor, right? Now it is actually natural though. And then if you can't have fun with health, you have to be able to, right? It needs a little bit of sense of humor with all the seriousness. That's a great way. And then just natural, like real bone broth would be fine as well. All right. All right, next one's from B. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I always appreciate your honest reviews. Can you please review the air filter Pura Cleanse? It claims to have scientific evidence that it destroys mold spores in the air, but I don't want to purchase something like this if it doesn't really work. Thank you. Okay, so I actually don't know this company, but I give you the 2 best air filter companies literally in the world, and they're at stephencabral.com/resources. stephencabral.com/resources, my highest recommendations. And I give you a link that saves you, $100 or more on these. So I would definitely check that out. I've been using air filters now since, I can tell you when, 2004. So a long time I've been using air filters, almost 20 years, I guess. Yeah. So hopefully that's helpful. Those are the best ones. I've reviewed them all. I've reviewed the Allen. I've reviewed this. I've reviewed that. Those, I give you my top ones. And I always update it at stephencabral.com/resources. So if you're listening to this in 5 years from now and there's a better one, like you said, I give you honest reviews. I'll recommend the better one, always. And it's always based on lab testing. So I look at their labs. I look at their third-party testing. All right, we're going to have to keep it at that for today because we've had a lot of questions already. So appreciate you tuning into the show. I thank you for your support. As always, if you could leave a review for the show, or subscribe, even better. Thank you so much. And I'll be back tomorrow for our Mindset and Motivation Monday show of the week. Great way to start the week. All right, take care, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.